And Stock South here. And by the way, I notice as I'm looking at this photo, this video, it looks like my one section of, Jaws. No, I have shaved. Well, sort of shaved, trimmed my beard. And no, I didn't miss this area. I'm working on I'm going to be getting a root canal. Evidently, I have an abscess there, so that's why my jaw is kind of out of. No, no one belted me. At least not yet. But I wanted to get this video out. No, I feel fine. It's just swollen a little. But the dentist looked. You know how a mechanic looks down at your, opens up the hood to your car and looks and goes, "Ooh, yeah." Well, it's just what the dentist looked at me. He said, "Open your mouth." He looks. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah. Okay. And root canal for you, pal. Oh, no, not another. He said, "Yep, yep." Anyway, enough of that. Enough of my whining. Because actually, I wanted to mention I had the best time. It was about a week ago tomorrow over at the House of the Good Shepherd in Hackettstown. No root canal there. No, sir. It was nothing but smiles. Oh, man. They did this Oktoberfest event out in their courtyard in front of it's a senior care facility, as I understand it. And they had this just unbelievable day. Like I said, it was an Oktoberfest. I guess for residents, family, of the residents, and they pull out all the stops. I mean, gosh, they asked me to come over and play some tunes. I said, well, I only got old songs. They said, well, guess what? I said, okay, yeah, you want them? They said, we sure do. You bring them. The older, the better. I said, well, okay, I got some pretty old stuff. They said, don't worry. You'll be fine. Yeah. So I showed up early that day. They're setting up their the event as I got there. I was one of the first people to arrive, I believe, and they just, excuse me, my nose itched. I'm sorry, and they I said, well, here I am. Where do I set up? They said, well, over there, Doc, for you. We're going to we're going to make a tent for you. I said, okay. Tents all over the place. They had tents they had a tent for the residents to sit in so they'd be in the shade if need be. They had tents with flaps, if I recall right, so in case it was windy. They had tents for the mess crew, the cooks. Yeah, they had a cook tent. They had a tent for dining. Yeah, I think they had. Did they have a tent for the 50-50? I don't know. No, I'm not sure. And then they had an area where again various people who had hot rods could bring them. The residents love those things. They're just amazing cars that some of these folks in this area have, one way or another put together, and so that was part of the fun. There was a lady. Well, they set up a tent for cocktails, beer and wine, nothing, yeah. I don't think anyone was there drinking Boilermakers or anything. No, beer and wine, and they, all in all, and in a little area of the facility, on one of the lawn, part of the lawn I was on, they were going to have a bounce house for the kids of the residents and grandchildren, etc. Grandchildren most likely, and turns out, just to show you what kind of people you're dealing with at the House of the Good Shepherd, they get a call from the bounce house people saying, "My God, our delivery truck to you has been in a minor wreck. No one's hurt, but we're right now we're stepping and fetching to get you your bounce house. It's going to be a little late." Now there's people that would have had an absolute fit, all sorts of demands and threats and stuff. The House of the Good Shepherd said, "No one got hurt," and you could hear the answer, "Yeah, no, we're all okay. When you get here, you get here. Just do your best, and we've got a spot for you. Yeah, don't worry." And yeah, nothing. No anger or oh my gosh, everything's thrown out of kilter. I think it's because those folks are just so nice. They realize that, well, if by chance the bounce house doesn't get there, well, they'll think of something else for the kids to do. Right, right. And hey, if you got mostly happy bones in your body, you'll think of something the kids can do. As it turns out, the bounce house got there, I think, an hour or so late, and all was well. Okay. They were tickled. People were coming over looking at my records, saying, "Hey, could you play this Nat King Cole? Oh my God, you got Stanky and the Coal Miners? Oh, you got is Happy Tony in there?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah, Happy Tony, sure." and like it was like that. As the day progressed, I was just so amazed. In fact, the lady with I don't know if I mentioned, but the lady who did the cocktails, the wine and beer, she comes out with a rolling cart just filled with buckets of tubs were filled with ice water and tea, etc. And it's very heavy. She picks one up and carries it to her table in her tent and just sets it down. I said, "Oh my God, look at that." So I said, "Well, I go." She was right next to me. I said, "Let me go carry this other one for you." God, that had to be a very heavy. She says it was heavy. I said, "Well, let me get this one for you." She says, "Well, no, I'll do it." No, I said, "Please, please, let me." I, I pick it up and darn near drop it. It was that heavy, and I'm pretty good at lifting anymore for a fellow my age. Well, anyway, long story short, as I'm picking up trying to pick the thing up from the ground, from the street, the lady comes over and says, "Here, we'll do it together." Okay. And we just picked it up and there. And that's sort of the key word. We'll do it together. Everybody was helping each other get this thing set up so that these residents, again at the House of the Good Shepherd, would have themselves the best day ever, the best day possible. I was finding I was watching the crowd, and I was getting pretty good at guessing ages or times in our history when they came, when they were young. If I played a Rudy Valley record, I knew those folks were young, probably during the very late 20s, early 30s. Play a Bing Crosby song or a Tommy Dorsey tune. I knew they were probably in their early 20s, late teens during World War II. You get the idea. It was kind of fun to do that, and in some cases I could play a song and by their reaction I could tell maybe they were in the service. I tried a Navy song. Was that Navy Blue by Diane Renee? I saw different folks thumbs up. I knew they were sailors, and they were. If I asked, I said, "Were you in the Navy?" "Yes, I was." Yeah, and like that. And I was again just having the best darn time. It was like I don't think I mentioned this, but it was sort of I kept looking at everything, thinking this is kind of like some of the scenes in that book I wrote, Aunt Barb's Magic Oven, especially the Thanksgiving Day feast as it was developing in on Carson Avenue. Remember at Aunt Barb's house. You'd have to read the book to know what I'm talking about, but it was the people in the book. People are having as much fun doing and working the event as they were sitting at the table partaking of the event. Everyone was having fun, and those that worked got to eat too, of course, but they somehow had a little bit, they were almost a little bit happier because they were helping to put it together. I don't know, it's sort of hard to explain, but yeah, that's sort of how these folks were at this most wonderful of places, House of the Good Shepherd. I'm trying to think what else. Again, the smiles on the serving staff were very genuine. I'm pretty good at knowing when a smile is genuine, and these were genuine. State of the art smiles. It was sort of like heaven on earth, but it wasn't heaven. It was heaven on earth, which I don't know. I think now and then is a pretty cool concept. Huh? Yeah. Everybody just doing what they could to get a grin on someone's face. They even had cloggers come by, some kids from, I guess, out in northeastern Pensy, danced, did clog dancing for the folks. Then those kids were, again, you couldn't ask for a happier bunch. Trying to think. I guess that's pretty much everything. I just the idea of serving and how it gives you such joy is to me very worth noting. And I saw it in full force that Oktoberfest, a week ago now. It was just couldn't have asked for a sweeter, wonderful day. It absolutely was great. And it's funny, after I packed up my stuff, a few people volunteered to help me get my van out of the, ground, the fairground area or the fair area, and get myself on my way to the Wanderers Cruise Night up at Jumboland. And again, I didn't even have to ask anyone. They just helped. Neat. And it's funny, as I pull out of the house, the Good Shepherd's driveway, I look up the street, and there's some police tending to someone who evidently had gotten hurt along the side of the road. Ambulances were en route. Emergency room staff was probably getting ready to take care of, it didn't look like it was major injuries or anything, but people were being helped. It's funny how the good vibes spread, isn't it? Huh? Yeah. It's neat. I don't know. I just thought you should know about all this. It was such a great day. And you got something like that cooking. I'm always tickled to do what I can to help. Okay, you let me know. Even if all you need me to do is promote it. Okay, so you let me know. Anyway, Doc South signing off. House of the Good Shepherd, thumbs up. Yes, you did very well. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'll see you later, friends. Thank you, and God bless.